Episode 1 of Wanda Vision got me in the old 50s sitcom feels. I saw homages to I Love Lucy, Bewitched, and other shows of their ilk, with laugh track and all. Wanda and Vision carrying on, and the whole show they are trying to remember why there is a heart on the calendar. Could it be an anniversary? Well, Vision realizes it's a night to entertain his boss, Mr. Hart, and his wife, Mrs. Hart, who is played by Deborah Jo Rupp, who was on the classic sitcom That 70s Show. Hilarity ensues as Wanda tries to whip up dinner, but she overcooks the chicken, turning them into eggs when she tries to correct it, sends the lobster through the window, and tries to tenderize some steaks. Well, she ends up serving breakfast European style, so the boss and his wife don't think twice. It goes without a hitch, and even Vision saves his boss from choking. And as they leave, his boss is impressed and looks forward to chatting Monday morning about that raise. While Wanda realizes they don't have an anniversary date, Vision says, "How about today? No song? How about Yakety Yak?" Which Vision hilariously sings to distract the boss's wife while Wanda cooks up dinner. What about rings? And Wanda conjures them up and both lock lips. And the audience oohs and ahs, sitcom style. This episode was hilarious. I really loved it. There's a lot of people who are complaining. There's a lot of people that don't get it. A lot of people are going, well, they better bring it back to the MCU. It better be back in modern time. It better be this. It better be that. Why don't you just go along with it? For what it is, you don't know where they're going. This could just be a temporary thing, and at the end of episode 2, it's probably not going to continue this, but we never know. But I enjoyed episode 1. What a way to introduce this episode, this series, which a lot of people are wondering. Wow, that's a different kind of a take. Like, what are they going to do? It's like looks like a old time sitcom type of a setting. But when you watch the episodes, you'll wonder why, and you kind of will get the gist of it. So what I'm going to do is I am going to move on from episode 1, and I'm going to talk about episode 2. God, I love this show. And the second episode sees the two stars frightened by sounds in the night. The opening credits sees a familiar Bewitched style opening. The disappearing cabinet trick, practice time, and well, the two want to fit in by putting on a magic act for the talent show. Oh, and poor Wanda beating the other ladies in the cul-de-sac, and Dottie is so uptight. She's referred to as Queen of the cul-de-sac. Vision is in a meeting, and just like Wanda is very awkward in fitting in, but Vision does get the boys at work chuckling. What about Wanda being summoned through the radio? Was it Vision? Don't know, but Vision finally gives in and chews on a stick of gum that gets stuck in his gears, literally. Oh boy, Vision is all groggy as he arrives at the talent show, and the act is all over the place, but hilarious. Vision levitates, but Wanda creates a pulley. He lifts a heavy piano, but Wanda turns it into a cardboard cutout. And Vision plays a card trick on Herb, his co-worker, and picks his card, albeit the last card he shows him. And he pulls a hat out of himself since the rabbit no-showed. And the disappearing act goes nicely. Well, Vision conjures up Geraldine, their neighbor, who appears in the cabinet. He started doing the whole abracadabra thing, and Wanda didn't even get into the cabinet. So they had to improvise, and they did that. And Wanda and Vision are praised by Dottie. They're trying to sneak out, And the committee, with the inaugural performance of the Year Award, is given to them. Wow, they're so it's just like, hey, we they didn't feel comfortable. They felt like, oh, we better get out of here. And then they get this whole inaugural Performance of the Year award. Now they arrive home and bask in their great performance, and Wanda notices a baby bump. She's with child. Then a noise, and outside a figure emerges out from the manhole. It's a beekeeper. Well, he's in a beekeeper outfit. Bees are all over him. It then reverts back, rewinds a bit, and all of a sudden, color is seen appearing in their world. But a few weird things. Now I'm going back to both episodes. A few weird things happen throughout the episode. You know, both of them. A yellow and red toy helicopter, they noticed that in the bushes. A voice on the radio speaking to Wanda. Then when Dottie gets cut, red blood appears from her hand. And she's still in black and white. They're actually all in black and white. And this happens, like I said, while they're still appearing in their black and white world. Now, what an ending to the second episode, and we do see the end at the conclusion, followed by a, who's doing this to you, Wanda, radio voice that we heard earlier. So they are in color. Are they back in the present timeline, or was this just a 2-episode arc? And then we get to see more modern times. It was very creative and well made episode, clever, witty, and a real homage to the sitcoms of the 50s, maybe into the 60s a bit. It was still kind of looked like that, but this was definitely like 50s. I loved it. It took me back to I Love Lucy, Bewitched. I think Bewitched was in the 60s, maybe a little bit, maybe late, but I think it was definitely in the 60s. But it's still, especially when you see her, cooking dinner and stuff like that. That's something that you would see Samantha from Bewitched do. And then we had 2 commercials, one per episode. One was for the Toastmate 2000 by Stark Industries, and then the other was for Strucker watches. We saw that in episode 2. Really, really, just a clever, really well done. I mean, I loved how they presented those. It was just like how those commercials were, and I love this show thus far. Really inventive, and I am so excited for the next episode. So more likely going to be this Friday. I enjoyed it. Like I said during the second episode, for some reason, people are going, I'm kind of tired of this. I don't like this. It's enough of this. Let's go to modern times and like that. That's how people are. They're so, you want to, hey, get the gist of it. Watch it. It probably has a connection to what's going to happen next. Now, it says the end. So more than likely, this was just a way to just do something clever, like show something that has to do with the 50s, some kind of a weird kind of thing. Because you got to remember, man, this is like the MCU. This is like, Marvel. It's like it's not what I call it, based in reality. There's a lot of weird things that happen, a lot of time travel, a lot of different things that happen. And more than likely, it could be what's going on in her head. Maybe what's going on in Jarvis's head. Well, Jarvis now Vision's head. I mean, but for what it was, I enjoyed it. Some of you, it's not your cup of tea. You don't like looking back and going back to like the 50s because it's too archaic for you. For some of you I know got a kick out of it. I did. And Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany are so perfect together, man. And I always said that Elizabeth Olsen doesn't look anything like Mary-Kate or Ashley, her older sisters, but I see her in this one, and she more and more looks like her. I guess maybe it's just the way she did her hair, the way she was acting. I could definitely see that she looks like her sisters. Because before I was always going, she doesn't look anything like her, but you can see it in her eyes. You can see it in some facial expressions she makes. She definitely looks like her sisters, but she's definitely more successful than they are now. I mean, they're successful in their own business world and all that stuff, but she's the one now. She's the focus now of that family, And I'm happy for her, and I'm happy for Paul Bettany. They really are in a great show, and Disney is they did very well. This thing, they have the Loki coming up, and Falcon and Winter Soldier. You got those shows coming up soon. I'm looking forward to those. But this was great, really great. great homage to the 50s type of TV shows, and they might not do more of this. You know, they might ease out of it, maybe in the next episode, because it went all color. At the end, it went all color, and we'll just see what happens as we get a look at episode 3. I don't know if it's gonna be episode 3 and 4, or they just did this just for this time, and it's gonna be one episode per week. But we'll see. So, well, for those of you who stopped by, checked out this video, I appreciate it. And in closing, as always, take care.